Here it is. All right. I do have it.
Sure. Like, what are the things that trigger you to be defensive? Like,
When I know I'm wrong. When I know that I done did something that he just told me not to do and I did it. And
But my question is, like, why is it so hard though? Like, from a female perspective, I'm glad you're here, because if I break it down and go say, hey, yo, you need a female on here, so I have a female.
No.
Why is it so hard to just accept that, like, you did something wrong and move on?
Okay, the reason is, and she's not expressing it properly, but basically what is it? What do I come up with sign language? Shame, guilt, and need to be right. Insults is the projection, right? What Kevin added, and because that's what they do when they project upon you. Shame, right? Okay, if they're wrong, they're shamed. Okay, they don't like to be. All women do not like to be shamed. Okay, they don't. And black women, at the very least, black women get very defensive when they're wrong, and they know that you could shame them for what they did wrong. Okay, because they got up in your face and told you that they knew what they were doing and all that kind of shit. And when they fuck up, then they want to try to hide it because they don't want to be shamed. Okay,
just don't want him to be right.
See, they
it's
need
like,
to
I
be
don't
right.
want you to be right. I know. Like, I just, like, stop telling me. I know you told me not to, and I did, and now you telling me I heard you. I know. Just stop. Like, just don't do it no more. Like, it's just, you just don't want to hear it, right? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I've come to that conclusion. Like,
you just don't want to hear it, right? And then again, afterwards, I could tell him, like, yeah, you right. Like, I shouldn't have did that.
All right, so let me get to this. How did you get to that point? Because I know a lot of women do get to that point, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say majority, but a lot of women. Get, so how at least did you get?
Because they're wrong so often. Okay, they're wrong so often. When a woman is wrong so often, you don't have to say. You just give her a look. And what happens if she keeps doing it? You're gonna stop cooperating with her. And she sees when a woman sees that you're not going to cooperate with her, then what she does is she starts admitting that she's wrong. Okay.
Get to that point to acknowledge and verbalize and say, you know what, he was right.
Because he told me that was the best way to communicate with him. Is whether I felt that I was right or not. Just to have that conversation afterwards with a calm head. Let's revisit it, talk about it, and get solution. We don't fight to win. You know what I mean? We don't do that. It's like we need an understanding. We got to come to some consensus here. So
men don't fight to win. Women do.
So that's why it works. And he makes it safe for me to do that, though. He don't
like throw it back in your face.
Yeah, like I won't, even if I do the worst of the worst things, he will never bring it up once we have a conversation and it's like, this is what happened. This is where we went left. We're not going to do this no more.
And I hope the brothers are listening to create that environment for your ladies.
Yeah, and he makes it safe for me. So I think a lot of...
See all the emotional labor that black men have to do for black women? See, they have to make it safe for her to admit that she's wrong and get some kind of clarity, okay? See all the work that we have to do? See, we have to cater to them and we have to cater to their ego because it's about ego. It's about their ego. It's about them wanting to be right and them not wanting to be shamed. It's about their ego.
Women are getting my opinion based off of my man and how I am with him and how he treats me. And when I say this, they haven't experienced that, and this is why they counter me. But my husband and I are night and day. I'm like, he's Jamaican too, right? So he's more, and I'm.
And what did homeboy try to say? Jamaican ain't black?
Just the live wire there. but it works, right? He likes to be home. He likes to be at home. He's a homebody. All of these things, right? And I like to do things, but it works. It works. It's that balance.
Because you don't fuck with him about what he does.
I don't get bored with him. You know what I'm saying? So women, I don't know why I'm ranting right now, because I just want to just big up my husband at this point because I'm loving him, right? But he makes me feel safe to be able to say I was dead wrong. And he don't be like, yeah, you're stupid. Remember the last time this happened?
See, in other words, because that's what she would do, okay? Because they're afraid that men would do the same thing that they would do, okay? That's what they're afraid of, because they can't think like a man. So they're ashamed to admit that they're wrong in front of a man because they think that they're going to do what the girls want them to do, actually bring that shit back up. Like she would do to him. If he did something wrong, and it could be one time, she'll be bringing it up for the next 15 years.
Been like, we never do that, and I think if more women did have that,
Mature and solid dude.
that room to be safe with my faults and my shortcomings, and I never hear it again. It's not like you collected ammunition, then they probably would be more.
See, not like you collecting ammunition, right? And this is something, and I'm probably going to do it in a standalone, because this is something that a Happy Wife school said, right? What women do. Why she said you shouldn't tell your woman everything, right? Or you shouldn't really tell your woman the truth, right? Is because she's going to collect ammunition to use on you later. And that's what she's afraid of. That's how come they hate to be wrong. That's how come they hate to admit that they're wrong. Is because they're afraid that you're going to use this ammunition, so next time they do some shit, you're going to pull it back up and throw it in their face and shame them for it. They don't like to be shamed.
To say, like, you was right, but who like being wrong? That's why that's the thing. I don't even like to say we fight. Women need to say that we're just not in agreement right now, and we need to find a solution.
Listening to you break it down, right? And basically,
they women don't look for solutions. They look to vent. They look to express their emotion.
So what we said earlier, the fact that women are so competitive and they have to win.
Ego. You see the same thing going on right now, okay? Right now in the WNBA, right? Where ain't no men around, okay? Ain't no men around. They're competitive. They're competitive not on the basketball court, which they are kind of, but the thing is, outside for recognition and attention, okay? And I hate to be wrong. Same shit. Has nothing to do with men.
That competitiveness leads you, from what I'm hearing, it leads many women to be defensive because, and I guess in their eyes at the moment, they're not winning. And if the sole purpose is to win the time, it leads you to do behaviors that are destructive to yourself.
Ego. They always talk about male ego. They never talk about the female ego.
In a relationship.
It does.
Black women have a bigger ego than black men do.
And that's where a lot of women fall short at. And you could have had a good man. And that man that you talked about.
Coulda.
But
But the thing is, what she did, what she's saying, was, even though that man doesn't really go in on, why? Because she comes back and she will admit later on that she's wrong. Okay? And within a few days, instead of 2 or 5 years, like when you talked about something else, and they're bringing shit up. Well, the time that I did such and such and such and such, 5 years later, it's like, yeah, I knew you were right. It's like, that does me no good. I haven't talked to you in 2 years. Why does that even come up? You could have said that then.
But you just don't know when to shut up. So I think sometimes we just need to learn how to just shut.
Yes. Say it again, black girl. Say it again. Let me rewind that one, okay? Let me rewind that bit. Rewind it. Rewind that one.
So I think sometimes we just need to learn how to just shut our mouth.
Yes.
It's that last word.
Yes.
And we gotta cut.
Yes.
We gotta cut real deep.
Oh, don't forget the tears.
And yeah, that's when you win it though. That's when you win it. When you win it, I told you I'm gonna cry.